And
book.
his take was if you're in charge of the mission and it goes wrong, it is your fault.
Yes.
No matter what. You do not go back to your commander, those in charge of you, and say, well, it was Kevin over here. He forgot to bring the grenades. Welcome to the Prophets podcast, where everything is possible when love is your bottom line. I'm your host, Steve.
And I'm Al.
And all are welcome here: business professionals, entrepreneurs, tradespeople, scientists, Sherpas, and simpletons. Anybody.
Everyone. You're all welcome.
Just give us 20 minutes, and hopefully you'll get something out of this. If at the very least a laugh or two, because lots of crazy things happen. You want to stick around for it. We got a good discussion coming up, don't we, Al?
It's going to be good.
I think it's.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I really am too. Before we do that, I always like to start each and every podcast with a little bit of a story, something interesting, discussion, a debate. So I'm walking down the hallway here at work, and I have popcorn, and a little bowl of popcorn, and a piece of popcorn fell out of the bowl.
Yeah,
right by Seth's desk.
Oh,
okay. And I didn't think anything of it. I reached down, picked it up, and I ate it.
Thanks for not wasting the popcorn.
He flipped out.
You can't eat that off the floor.
Wanted to ask him, well, why do I have to throw it away? How many things in our lives we spend because it's a specific expectation that you do or don't do something, but then if you actually put the reason behind it to the test, it's like, well, it's just dumb.
Is he fearful of germs? I don't think so.
Now, it was popcorn too. If I had dropped, I don't know, like a fried egg on the carpet here, I'm probably not going to eat that because it's probably going to pick up some fibers and just would, not that it would be worrisome about the bacteria, but I just don't want like stringy little things because if a wetter food is going to pick up more stuff, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Just, you have anything else that you can think of that we do because we're supposed to do it or not supposed to do it?
Oh, wash your hands.
In the bathroom, right?
You got to wash your hands.
You got to wash your hands.
You go to the bathroom, you wash your hands.
I don't wash my hands if I'm in there alone.
Really?
No.
You do it just to show someone else?
Oh, yeah. If somebody's in the stall, okay, and they know I'm in there, I'll just turn the water on and stand there for a second so they think I wash my hands.
Oh, my goodness, dude.
Because if I do it right at the urinal, nothing's getting on me.
Okay. Well, you and I differ in this particular position.
But so you don't wash your hands. What's going to happen?
You're going to keep germs on your hands. No, hold on a second. It's not really about, I get it, we're going to go number 2, and you should definitely wash your hands. You're saying number 1, I'm unzipping.
Number 1.
I don't have to touch
anything.
Oh, yeah, number
2,
possibly,
yes, I will definitely wash my hands.
But keep in mind, I use it as a position in my life to just, because your hands touch everything.
Sure.
I just say, hey, I'm in the bathroom.
Right.
I'm going to the bathroom. I
right.
might as well wash my hands.
Yeah.
So I just habitually do it. And it's not because of what I'm doing in the bathroom per se.
Right.
It's because I just think, hey, it's a good time to wash your hands, guys. I come home from work. I wash my hands as soon as I get in the house. So I don't bring the germs in from, there's 140 people in the office. So it's tough. But no. But for you to say you do it for show.
A lot of times. Sometimes the mood strikes right, and I'm gonna I'm washing my hands. Yeah. And other times I'm like, I'm just not into it, man. Oh, man. One last thing, not opening up a second gallon of milk. One's already open.
What do you mean? Why would you open up a second gallon?
Well, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But so you have 2 open. So what? You're gonna use the same amount of milk in the same amount of time. So why can't you have 2 open things of milk?
Huh?
What's the point? So comment below on any of this. There's a number of things that if you do them or don't do them, it is gonna affect people. They're gonna be maybe like Seth.
Yeah.
Like Seth, I feel like the fact that he saw me eat popcorn off the floor, I feel as if it ruined his day.
He thinks less of you right now.
I think it ruined his day.
It messed up his psyche.
Which loosely brings us to the topic of the day. And the topic of the day is... If you think someone ruined your life,
you're right.
Love this discussion that we're going to have. And it is stemming from a video that you saw.
Yeah.
And I sent it to you. And so we're going to actually play it here for our audience. Mm-hmm. And it's just a segment of an interview with someone named
Jimmy Carr.
Okay, maybe
he's a British comedian.
Yeah,
an influencer. The guy, he's got interesting ideas. Even his comedy is like
it's hilarious.
Cerebral.
It's hilarious.
It's just really cool.
It's really cool. And when you sent me the video, and it was a serious discussion.
Yeah,
I was like, Jimmy Carr, like he's a comedian.
I know,
right?
Surprised.
He's not allowed to have like deep thinking.
Exactly.
So we're going to play the video for you right now. This is a segment. This is a clip from a podcast called Jimmy Carr. There's a crisis going on with you, and the YouTuber is what was it? What was the name of the YouTube?
An interview, the interview with the CEO.
Oh yeah, the Diary of a CEO.
Oh, the Diary
of a CEO podcast. Here is a segment of Jimmy Carr on there. Listen to what he has to say, and then we're going to talk about it.
Because really, that thing of like, it's the I suppose what's the opposite of gratitude? It's resentment. And who had the great line? Nietzsche had the great line on resentment. He said, if you think someone's ruined your life, you're right. It's you. Like, that's a mic drop, isn't it? That's such a great line. And, gratitude is the cure for that. There's a great definition of entitlement, which is where you are now and where you want to be. If you want to do something about it, that's ambition. Where you are now, where you want to be, if you think that's someone else's problem, that's entitlement. And I think if we're honest, there's always a little bit of that going on. Like, there's a lot of people in my industry that would, their career isn't where they think it should be. And, I need to get a new agent. Really? You think that might be the problem?
All right, Jimmy Carr there with a take on, gratitude and first of all, the fact that he has a British accent makes him sound so much more intelligent. Like, you got to listen to anybody with a British accent.
It raises their IQ points, just their tone. Oh, my goodness. Dude, that was like 50 miles an hour. Maybe 60.
So just so you know that...
My life flashed before my eyes.
Just so you know that somewhere along the line, in every podcast we have, someone could get blasted with a dodgeball. Unfortunately, Seth has no aim, and he completely missed, and I'm so glad because that thing was humming.
He might not have aim, but he's got like speed. I mean, that was powerful. You could tell he's an athlete. He definitely is an athlete.
All right, back to Jimmy Carr and the British
accent. He cracked our sign. No,
did he hit it off?
No, it's okay. It didn't crack. Thank God.
So back to Jimmy Carr, the British accent. They're so much smarter over there. I don't know how they got so much smarter. As if we could just all talk like that, people would take us more seriously.
Well, we're going to eventually talk like that because you think about like how things start and then they evolve. They're ahead of us.
All right. So if you think someone ruined your life, you're right.
It's you.
It's you. Let's talk about that.
The concepts here that Nietzsche, I mean, it's attributed to Nietzsche. I haven't talked to him personally, but it's attributed to him that he says this, right? And the concept is like, you are responsible for your perception. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're going to be resentful towards someone, that's your choice.
Yeah.
And people are going to like harm you, right? Harm is all over the world, right? Mm-hmm. It could be, could be in your family. It's not like it just happens from strangers. Usually it's people are close to you that harm you, right?
Right.
And you can either hold that and carry that and it's resentfulness, or you can just like do the opposite of that, which in this video, he was talking about gratitude.
Right.
Being the opposite of resentment, which kind of makes sense. I don't know if that's true. I'll have to check the dictionary. But I would say that makes sense to me. What about you?
Yeah, it does. And like you were saying, you have situations that, they're not their fault specifically, that you have to navigate. But resentment is just a toxic way of going through life, and it'll actually cause more problems along the lines of whatever it is you're dealing with. And so you have to take what?
I would take steps of releasing that.
Well, first of all, responsibility.
Yeah.
Got to take responsibility. Got to take responsibility for everything. I love a book we read. It was the Marine. I think it was Jocko Willink, right?
Oh, Jocko. Yeah.
You were reading that book.
Great
and
book.
His take was if you're in charge of the mission and it goes wrong, it is your fault.
Yes.
No matter what, you do not go back to your commander, those in charge of you, and say, well, it was Kevin over here. He forgot to bring the grenades, and we got ambushed. And I mean, Jocko wasn't his fault. I'm making that part up, but it's often not your fault. But if you take responsibility, what does it benefit? I'm going to ask you, because I don't even have an answer. Why would you want to take responsibility for something that truly isn't your fault?
So something happens to you, and you're harmed, and you are holding on to resentment, right? And you're carrying that with you. I think what you're taking responsibility for, if that's what you're saying, I'm going to release something and hold on to something else. Mm-hmm. And the word responsibility might not be applicable in this scenario that you're saying. Like, okay, well, he's responsible for a mission. That's an action taken that failed. Mm-hmm. But could you, actually shun that off, that responsibility off on someone else's fault, and say, well, yeah, I'm gonna reject that I was at fault here. Absolutely. But in the sense of like someone harming you and you are holding on to resentment and gratitude being the opposite of that, I think you are responsible for holding on to something that you should let go of. Right? It doesn't minimize that it hurt. It doesn't minimize the fact that you probably should be angry, and even years later have the right to, whenever you think about it. And you have the right to let that affect your life and ruin it. It's your choice. Mm-hmm. But in a sense, you are choosing to stay there.
Right. These people that struggle with this are wired a certain way, whether it's from how they were brought up, experiences they've had in life, and so they got to kind of break down that learning that they've had to be a victim or to have animosity towards things. Mm-hmm. And so here's what I have, and you tell me if this is good, to actually be able to flip the switch.
Yeah.
Number one, and this is the biggest one, you have to want to.
True.
You have to want to, because I think most people, they are so comfortable in blaming, and it's so secondary, it's such a secondary nature, that they don't want to stop blaming people. It becomes part of who they are.
Oh, dude, you just took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I love when that happens. It's like part of their identity.
Yeah.
It becomes a part of my identity if I have been a victim. Think about like how many times, and I've done this, okay? I've done this. I've been a victim of something, and I could remember it's many a times though. So the first time I actually realized it and stopped it, on purpose, I had a conscious decision. I got to stop doing this. Was when I was a teenager, early teens. Mm-hmm. You know how you meet someone and they tell you their 30-second kind of like about them, and then you ask and you get deeper stuff. Well, within the first few minutes of meeting somebody, I would let them know some trauma in my life in my teens. Mm-hmm. Like just it would spill out. Mm-hmm. Which became my identity. So what I started noticing later in my teens was that my friends were introducing me with my trauma.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And at that point, I'm like, I don't really, years later, I'm like, I don't want to be like tied down to this trauma that I used to overshare and share early, and it made me part of my identity. Mm-hmm. And I just said, guys, don't tell people about this stuff. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I moved on from it.
Okay.
But like I've been a victimized, or holding on to victimhood in my life, so I know how this feels. And it was because it gave me attention, and I needed it at that time.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to add something here before I go on to point number 2. Is actually point number 2 now, because of what you said, is after you make a decision you want to change, right? How you're approaching life and your attitude and thing, you have to evaluate how you got to be like you are. Like, what, you don't have to necessarily become your own psychologist, but I think you have to kind of connect the dots to why you're acting or feeling or thinking the way you are, so you can kind of, first of all, gain an understanding, right? Kind of figure out your own little secret, right? Or your whatever your triggers were. Try to understand a little bit about your makeup, your psychological makeup, to say, okay, I can see this is why I'm like this. Kind of release yourself from it, so you understand it's not because you're a bad person. It's just because you dealt with some stuff, some trauma or whatever. But then once you decide to change, get a little idea of why you are like that, start taking your life back by consciously finding ways to be grateful about things that you do have. And the fact that, be grateful actually that you're even on this, you're starting the journey, because it's an exciting journey to be on. To finally make some changes. So those are my first 3 things now. And then take on, and this is where you can get a little bit even deeper. Then I think you should take on one thing that has been causing you stress, or a person who's been causing you stress, whether it's a relationship, a problem at work, something that's broken, even a small thing like a mechanical thing, and you solve it and feel good about solving it. So then you're starting to get some momentum to making changes in your life that will help you be more prosperous.
That's great. I like that.
You like that?
I like that advice. Well, the last part is interesting.
Okay.
And it's a way to build, I would call, like a self-worth in a way. Like, I accomplished this. Look at it. So that makes me, so here's your journey of the 4 things that you mentioned. And I mentioned that trauma I used to identify with.
Let's use that. That's a perfect thing to do, because this is what we're talking about.
I've been through this.
Okay, perfect.
Like you just mapped out the early part of my life.
Okay.
So I'm just going to share the trauma. I was abandoned. I used to say that. I was abandoned as a child. Never knew my real dad.
Yeah.
Real dad.
Right.
And so, but I had a mom. Now, this are the things that like I forgot because I was so self-absorbed. I think that's key. As a child, most people in their adolescence are self-absorbed. That's why teenagers are so hated, because they're so darn selfish. Right? I love teenagers because I know what to expect from them, to be honest with you. They're very predictable. So I like teenagers. And so, and I remember how I was as a teenager, so that helps. So you are so self-absorbed. You can't see, like you said, all the things around you should be grateful for.
Right.
And once I came out of that, right, in my early 20s, and as I was approaching, the things that got me out of that was, one, I was a teenage parent. So it took a while, though. It wasn't immediate. I had an immediate draw to take care of my daughter. So that was the first step to not being self-absorbed, right?
Right.
It forced me not to be I had to start thinking about somebody else. That doesn't happen that often in adolescence or in teenage years. There was a lot of teen parents, but it's not, it's not like the majority of people.
Yeah, so if you're struggling with this, go out and just have a kid.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine.
Exactly. Children will solve your selfishness, okay? If you're a parent, you can't stay selfish. So you got this journey, and then that added the gratefulness. I would look back, right, knowing how my mom was a teen parent, right?
Right.
So here is a second generational situation. My grandmother was a teen parent. Did you know that? This is 3 generations. Interesting. So I, at that point of being less self-absorbed, started looking at how grateful I was for my mother and what she went through, because I went through it. Started thinking about other people, started counting my blessings in that way. And at that time, I didn't have any faith. I had no thought of what God was. I was only still like relying on myself. And so the journey and understanding and growth, and then accomplishment. So I was in a world where I felt entitled in my teen years. And this stopped me from feeling entitled, because entitlement usually comes from ungratefulness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's really tied in. And so all of this journey that you're kind of mapping out here is an intentional thing to do.
Mm.
I just did because, I just wanted to control some chaos in my life, honestly.
Yeah.
I did, to try to raise a child at 16, 17, 18, you gotta go to work. You gotta make it happen. You gotta provide. You gotta be there. Show up. All the things that it takes to father and mother a child. So that type of thing for me was like, oh man, boom, you either do it or this child is not going to have a good life.
Right.
And man, she was born into chaos, to be honest with you.
Mm.
And so there is so much story to that, but you're right on. I don't know if that kind of brings a real life situation to what you said.
So it's probably a typical kind of progression for those who want to make a change in their life. I mean, I think bad attitudes are that's a pretty typical thing. I think there's probably way more people with bad attitudes than there are people with, very positive and good attitudes. In fact, I think by a large margin, everybody's got a bad attitude about something at some time, right? But for those who are just stuck, like what this video is about, if you think someone ruined your life, you're right. It's you. If you're at that point where, you're out there with resentment and disgust and animosity, whether it's because of your parents or maybe a spouse or just a boss at work or a coworker, or sometimes it's not even a person. Sure. Sometimes it's a situation.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, like for instance, I was thinking about responsibilities, and again, like with Jocko Willink, whether he takes responsibility for a mission that failed or whatever, we can take responsibility in one way or another, specifically on the way we react to them. Exactly. And that way we have control, right? True. Isn't that great? It gives us the control. So if your spouse is driving you nuts, guess what?
You said, guess what?
You said, I do.
You did it. Wait, hold on. Wait. You're saying I chose him or her,
right?
So you're partly responsible.
Yeah, at least you were halfway part of that deal, right?
That is wise. Right?
You said I do.
You gotta choose wisely.
That's right. You got to choose wisely.
That's
so
right.
Okay. And I'm not. There's a whole can of worms that opens up after that we're not going to get into. But
no, I want to get into that.
Okay. But your car breaks down.
Yeah.
You bought it. Right?
What?
Or you didn't maintain it.
You didn't.
Right?
Dude, my mom has she has a great story about that. Her engine started making a horrible sound, and
just let it go.
And it just breaks down. It just, gets into the shop. My grandfather says to her, and this is after like maybe having it for 50,000 miles. Hey, have you ever changed the oil in this thing? It was her first car.
Okay.
She said, what oil? Change what oil? She drove it for 40,000 miles,
oil.
50, and this is back in like 70s. Okay. You could not like change the oil every like 15,000 or 1,500 miles back then. Couldn't believe it. That happens.
And there are things, like I was saying, there are things you can't necessarily. There's things that aren't really your responsibility.
Yeah.
But again, you can take responsibility for how you act and react to it.
Oh, absolutely. So you have some sense to grab control over the situation in a way. But what does control do for you, though? I don't understand. Why control?
Why to control a situation?
Yeah.
Well, to control, it feels good to know that ultimately it's in our hands with the help of God to make the changes that we need to make. Like we have the ability to make a difference in whatever it is we're facing, as opposed to the victim who says, oh, I can't do anything about it. I have bad luck with my cars. Oh, the boss doesn't like me. Oh, my wife doesn't like me. My husband doesn't like me.
I gotcha.
So
yeah, you get the sense that your perception and how you respond and how you look at life is in your control.
Is in your control, yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me, like, there's a Bible verse that, I was kind of looking up here. That's kind of, in a sense, but God says to love your neighbor, right? He doesn't say, well, if you like them and they're nice.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Even common sense says, I'm going to love the people who are nice to me and then hate my enemies.
Right.
That's just like a common thing.
Yep.
But God's saying, love your enemies, love your neighbor, and pray for those who hurt you and are spiteful toward you, right?
Yep.
I mean, this concept from the Bible in Jesus' way, because this is his words, right, saying it to us, he's asking us to bless people who curse us, to actually do good to those who hate us, to pray for them, which despitefully use us, right? And even if they persecute you. So when you look at what God would have us do in response to some trauma that happens in life to people, he's not suggesting that, the bad things, the spiteful persecution and hate that we receive, he's not saying that's not going to hurt our feelings or make us feel bad or even angry. He's saying that when you have a choice, which is to love those who are enemies, bless them, do good to them, pray for them. And the reason, this is in Matthew 5:45, that ye may be the children of your Father, which is in heaven, for he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and the unjust. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans do the same? Salute, and if you salute your brethren only, what do you do more than anyone else? It's the concept is that, like, here it is, an example from God of how to do what you're talking about, responding. And yes, you are going to be hurt. Yes, they are wrong. Yes, you can be angry, but your choice, like, love is an action. Love being, kind of a force for us in motivation to even talk about this stuff is really an action word. It's not a feeling. So when you go ahead and say, I'm going to love my enemy, I'm going to respond well, and I'm going to go ahead and love and pray and care for someone who hurt me, that is powerful. That just takes them, right, and the power that you give to them by, like, being a victim of them, and it takes it back, right? And if you are a child of God, it says here, and you live like this because your Father's in heaven, your identity switches from a victim of that person to I am a prince or a princess of the heaven, the kingdom of heaven. And that in itself is powerful. Yeah. So your value and worth isn't in what happened to you.
Right.
And so when I was, like, coming up and getting, again, through the traumas of my life and shedding off having to be identified by those things, God found me.
Okay. Great discussion. I mean, really, really good discussion.
That was good.
So it's now time for our final segment, and that segment is something fun. We like to end each podcast with something a little fun, something that you can get involved in. Sometimes it's trivia, sometimes it's, fun facts or whatever. This time, I thought I'd have fun with a little spelling bee with you.
Ooh.
So we used a quote from whom today?
Ooh.
It's not part of the
Nietzsche.
Right, Nietzsche, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to see how well you spell the last names of famous philosophers.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay? There's 10 of them. And you get a bonus point if you can tell me what their first name is. Okay? Now, when you do the spelling bee, as soon as you say the wrong letter of the name as you spell it, you're going to get. That's it. You can't go back. Oh no, I'm gonna. And you've got like, I'm gonna give you like 20 seconds to spell the name.
Okay. Can you say?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So cue the music. There we go. Let's get you warmed up. Now, again, I'm going to give you the last name. You got to try to spell the last name. And if you can say the first name, you get an extra point. So you can get 2 points per name.
Sweet.
The first philosopher, Marx.
All right. MARX.
First name?
Carl.
Boom. You got 2 points.
Sweet.
The next philosopher. How do you spell Socrates?
SOCREATES. Oh, man.
You know the first name?
Harold? No, I'm just joking. I don't know.
He doesn't have a first name.
Scrotes?
No,
Scrotes Socrates?
There's no first name for the Greek philosophers. Socrates, SOCRETES.
I put the A in there. I shouldn't have.
Yeah. Okay. Third one, Russell.
RUSSELL.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes! I was looking out of the side for Q's. I'm sorry, I cheated. I looked at you to just get Q's if I needed to add another L.
Okay, so I should have.
You have a horrible
Yeah,
poker face.
if I had not paused like that. First name?
I have no idea.
Bertrand.
Oh yeah, Bertrand Russell.
All right, you get 1 point out of there.
It's like Russell Brand, very similar.
So you got 3 points. Next one, Hobbes.
HOBBS.
HOBBES. First name?
That's hobbies. I don't know.
Thomas.
Thomas Hobbes.
Okay. Still 3 points. Aristotle.
ARISTOTLE. EL.
ARISTOTLE.
Oh, stot. Why did I put the O?
Stotle.
Why did I put the O before the T?
First name?
George.
There is no first name.
Okay. Yeah. Greek philosopher.
Okay, you got 3 points still. Goldman.
GOLDMAN. Yeah.
First name?
Harold. Why is Harold funny?
Emma. Just keep saying Harold.
Harold. You have an uncle named Harold, don't you?
Okay. Nietzsche.
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
NITZZKE. I have no idea.
The reason why I did this spelling bee is because it's like I could not spell it right when I was filling out my form here. I had to keep looking it up. Like I had to keep going back and forth. And the I was before the E, but I had the E before the I, and then there's a T. It's NIETZSCHE.
I knew there was a Z in it.
First name?
I don't think he has one.
Friedrich.
Friedrich Nietzsche.
Harold.
Friedrich.
Harold. Voltaire.
VOLTARE. Did I get it wrong?
VOLTAIRE.
I missed the
I. Yeah.
Those French.
First name?
I have no idea.
Francois.
Francois.
Marie.
Uh-huh.
3 more. Rand.
RAND.
First name?
Harold. I'm going to get this right someday.
Anne Rand.
Rand. Okay.
Okay. 2 more.
Oh, wow.
Kierkegaard.
Oh, Kierkegaard. K-I-K.
And first name?
Harold. I have no idea.
Soren Kierkegaard. KIERKEGAARD.
Nice. Quick question.
Yep.
You went to college. I know this, right? What college was it? Or university? Or
South Florida.
South Florida. Okay, I didn't go to college,
Okay.
and I've never, like, do they have like a philosophy class in every curriculum of college?
Oh, I don't know. That's good.
I've never been exposed to most of these names.
Oh, I would have thought you were, because
No.
you seem to be into this kind of stuff. That's kind of why I did this, because I was like, oh, he must read these things, and
I like philosophy in the
Okay.
sense of like what I do here,
Okay.
but I actually have never studied it.
Oh,
I
okay.
got to start looking into this.
Okay, Machiavelli,
Machiavelli, nice.
where you get
Machiavelli.
Oh my gosh, you were so close. Machiavelli. You got to keep throwing on those random I's in these things. First name?
I have no idea.
It is Harold.
No way! Do I get the points for
No,
Harold?
because you said I don't know.
Come on.
So you don't get it.
Oh, come on, dude. You got to
It's
give me the point.
Niccolo.
Niccolo.
All right, well, that's it. We want to thank everyone for joining us. Make sure you subscribe, follow. We're on Facebook and Twitter and Insta and YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We really hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be getting some more guests on here. Looking forward to some really cool conversations with some really cool people. Looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we always like to wrap up, remember,
Never get into a battle with a Sicilian
when
death is on the line.
Prophets to the prophets, here we go. Building up your life so you stand tall.